Hey, making your own recipe is a good thing. You can control the fat, the salt, the sugar. And it's like, cooking for me, it's like almost like therapy. It's like really relaxing, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing the food with friends and family. And if you subscribe to this channel, guess what? You get 2 recipes every week. Okay? And the recipes are going to be healthy and nutritious and delicious and also very easy. Like today's recipe. We're actually doing spinach pie. I do a little differently. I like to create a little bit with this. It's going to be nutritious, it's going to be delicious, full of spinach, full of flavor, fresh herbs. Wonderful. The first thing I have to deal with is the, spinach pie traditionally has like a puff pastry crust on it, or phyllo dough, very popular with spinach pie. I'm going to take that out. I'm not going to use that because that's just going to add a lot of fat and a lot of carbs that are unnecessary to what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to use instead eggplant. I'm going to peel it first, then slice it, then bake it, and use that instead of that the sweet or high fat kind of dough. Let's get cooking. First thing I have to do is peel this, so I'm going to cut the ends off. And I can do this with a knife because, I'm used to using a knife, and I'm very good with a knife. If you're not, you can also use a peeler, if that's your preference. The eggplant's all peeled. Now I'm going to slice it in about 1/4 inch slices. I'm going to coat it in a little bit of Italian breadcrumb and put it on a tray that's been sprayed with a little bit of spray oil. So what you have to do is take a slice, dip in the breadcrumb like that, and then put it on the tray. Then I'm going to spray the tops a little bit, just so they don't burn. Hey, let's go right into a 350-degree oven. While the eggplant's cooking, I'm going to make the sauce. Very simple, very easy, very delicious. That's wonderful. I'm going to start with about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Got a 1/2 cup of onion chopped. I like red onion. You can use whatever onion you like. I think red onion is the best. It's the sweetest. The tomato I'm going to use today is San Marzano. That's the best. Whenever I make tomato sauce, I always use San Marzano. Wonderful. These are whole tomatoes, so I'm going to have to just crush them up. You see that? Just take my hands in there and just give them a squeeze and just crush them up a bit. That's it. Ooh, that feels good. Now I'm going to add 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Just stir the garlic for a minute, and then I'm going to add those tomatoes. Beautiful. Look at the color. Beautiful tomatoes. I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of dry oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And just give it a little bit of a Mediterranean taste. I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh man, does that smell good! Wow, it's like a tomato sauce and that little bit of cinnamon. That's like kind of how a moussaka tastes. That little touch of cinnamon. Wonderful stuff. On top of the spinach pie, This is going to be great. Hey, I got the sauce cooking. I got the eggplant cooking. Now I have to make the spinach mixture. Very easy. I have here 2 cups of frozen, thawed out, squeezed spinach. This is about 4 10-ounce packages. Seems like a lot, but once you squeeze out all that water, 2 cups of spinach, that's it. Chop spinach, buy it frozen, thaw it out, and then squeeze it. Squeeze that water out. You don't want water in there, it's going to make everything soggy. It should come out to about 2 cups of spinach. Now, to that spinach, I'm going to add a half a cup of chopped parsley and a half a cup of scallion. I also need dill. What I'm using is a freeze-dried dill. And the reason why I'm using this instead of fresh is because I can use less and it'll give me more dill flavor. It's got great dill flavor. If you use fresh, you use about a half a bunch of dill. I'm using it freeze-dried, so I use 1 tablespoon. Now we have to bind this somehow. We're going to bind it with some eggs. Almost vegan eggs. Hey, we're having meatless. This is a meatless meal, but you have to bind this, all right? I don't want to use like a flour because it's going to make it gummy. So we use the eggs. It helps to bind it. It's a classical ingredient in spinach pie. You really can't do without it. This spinach pie is going to feed about 6 people, at least 4 people, 4 big portions. So it's like 1 egg per portion. We use 4 eggs in there. It's okay. It's okay. As long as you don't have eggs like every day, or sit down and have like 5 or 6 eggs. To have an egg once in a while is going to be okay. For me, you know, I want to make this dish. I want to make it good. I want to make it right. I want to make it so I enjoy it. So throwing an egg in there too, or even 4 eggs for 4 portions, it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. For me, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Okay. You can use egg substitute like chia seeds, stuff like that. It's not quite the same. That's why I use an egg in here. That's why almost vegan. Alright, so I put 4 eggs in here. You see that one hand crack? Nice, look at that. I had a lot of practice. Okay, the last thing I'm going to put in here is the cheese. I'm going to use 1 cup of feta cheese, and then I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Normally I would use Parmesan cheese, but I'm going to use the vegan variety, which is nutritional yeast. I'm just going to mix this all up. Okay. You can add some black pepper too. I'm going to add where's my black pepper? I'm going to add just, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, but don't need salt because feta cheese has salt in it. I had these eggplants in the oven, 15 minutes one side, flipped them over, 15 minutes the other side. They're good to go. Now I just have to assemble everything. Like, this has been a lot of different parts. You got to make the sauce, you got to make the eggplant, you got to make the mixture with the spinach. However, it's not that complicated. Like, everything's very easy. There's 3 parts to it, but all the parts are very easy. Now we're just going to assemble all the parts together, and we're going to bake it in the oven, and then you're going to have beautiful dish. You won't believe how good this is. First thing I do is put down a nice layer of sauce. Just enough sauce to cover the bottom. Then I'm going to take about half of the eggplant and cover the bottom, like that. Then I got to take the spinach, a beautiful spinach mixture, and I'm going to cover the eggplant with it. Beautiful. Then I'm going to take the rest of the eggplant and cover the top like that. I push down a little bit, pack everything in there, and then I take just enough sauce just to cover it. Don't put too much sauce or else it's going to get all soggy. That's it. Beautiful. And you're going to cover it. That spinach has to bake. It's got raw egg in it. So put it in 350 degrees, 1 hour. Wonderful. Hey, it's been an hour. And I'm taking this out of the oven. Smells delicious. Wow, that smells great. Woo, looks good too. Nice, not too wet. So when I cut it, it's going to stay together beautifully. Just like a spinach pie. That's fantastic. I got a little extra sauce. Wonderful.